Here is why Athens is taking the axe to state jobs. Greece's public sector employs around 700,000 or 800,000 people. Exact estimates are hard to find. What is certain is the drain this has placed on the small country's finances, starting in the 1980s. Both the left and right in politics used the system, rewarding supporters with jobs. With every political power shift, the public sector grew as more people were hired.
Over the years, the two big parties have created a large public sector, mainly with clientelistic processes of employing people. And that's going to be very difficult to change because it requires a whole reorganization, I think, of the way that services are run and of the way that things are done in the public sector.
About 20% of the working population is some sort of civil servant in a job that has been guaranteed for life under the Constitution. Today's plan under the socialist government is to reduce salaries and staff numbers by 20% by 2015. It's looking at putting 30,000 workers into what it's calling a labour reserve, paying them 60% of their salaries for 12 months while they're supposed to find other work, then giving them the sack. The layoffs would be a break with the Constitution. This was established 100 years ago to end the practice of incoming governments firing employees of the previous one. The public sector is bloated and inefficient, but getting a job in it has been a national prize for decades. While the Greek average monthly wage is around €700, a civil servant starts at 800 and bonuses can push that to 1,300 a month.
There is a huge amount of voters of both big parties who are working for the public sector, and this is of course going to cost them politically. Today the Greeks don't see any perspective, any way out of this crisis, and that's very important because it explains a lot. It explains the consensus, it explains the morale of getting through this difficult time. I think that's pretty much a hard work for any government to do, but I think they have to work on it.
Civil servants will fight to keep their rights, though even if they lose them, it's no guarantee it will save the country as the debt crisis and political crisis merge further. The current plan calls for many tens of thousands of more public job cuts in the next 4 years.
Ray.